you there? Hello. Hello, beautiful people. How are you doing today? Eating an Easter egg. Chocolate one. D'Artagnan's hanging out with me. Aren't you, baby? I'm Baby Norman, by the way, host of Baby's CriB. Let's sit here for a second until a couple more people say hi. Do you like the shoes? They're Playboy shoes. Chocolate. I'm a chocoholic. I love these. So good. I'm a little run in my hose, but who cares? Who cares? Anyway, I hope everyone's well out there in magical fairyland. Like I said, I'm Baby Norman. I'm host of Baby's CriB, a variety show that you can catch on YouTube. So if you're watching this right now, you can subscribe to the channel and can see more of not only me, but me interviewing some pretty amazing people with a little bit of variety dashed in there. Hello. I'm going to try as much as I can to keep up with the comments, but it's a little far. So maybe I can get D'Artagnan to press the button. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I'm still using these little lav mics until I can invest in better ones. Yummy. Okay. So did anybody out there celebrate Easter this past Sunday? Yeah, sweet. Today is Thursday, the Thursday after Easter. And I was going to go live. This is my fourth live, by the way. And my fingers are getting all sticky and gooey and chocolatey. Yummy. I need a napkin. But Easter was this past Sunday, and I was going to go live the day after Easter, but then I got a little sore throat. If you live in Atlanta, Georgia, you know that the pollen is ridiculous. It's like crazy. And so a lot of us were affected by that. And I am a fourth humid, so I felt some of the repercussions of going outside and just taking in the spring, all the pollen, sore throat. But I think I'm better today. And this chocolate's helping. Not really. My little sticky chocolate fingers. Hello. 3. That's a good number. Anyway, today's live. Hello. Yeah, well, rest. I did rest. I slept a lot. Can you hear me okay? Hopefully you can. Today, what I thought I would talk about would be some things that have to do with Easter. But I want to kind of incorporate that into Playboy Bunny. So Easter Bunny, Playboy Bunny. There's not, well, you'll see there's some correlation, just a little bit. Hello, Radio Randy. I'm going to try to say hi to as many of you as I can, while also telling a little bit of stories and factoids about Easter, Playboy bunnies, a little bit of religion, and just some fun factoids. And you guys can even tell me what you may or may not know about what I'm speaking about. And we'll keep in that tone. Really messy though. That melted quickly. I've got a whole bag of chocolate in here. It's a rabbit in a hat with a bat, $6. And D'Artagnan wants to hang, so he doesn't know what the heck I'm doing, but we're improvising, sweetheart. We're improvising. I should have put bunny ears on him. That would have been awesome if he would have let me. But yeah, so this show is like not necessarily for children. The children can watch if they want to. I would say parental discretion may be advised. I do sometimes use curse words. Sometimes, if I feel like it. It's never planned. It just comes out the way that it does. And sometimes I don't. It just depends. But I would say parental guidance. Right, D'Artagnan? He said, take me to church. I got to repent. Today is going to be, like I said, a little intertwining between Easter and bunnies, history of bunnies and Playboy bunnies. Hence the bunny ears. I even have Playboy shoes on. I don't know if you can tell that from the bottoms, but I'll I'll show you these later, for as long as I can wear them. I'm not actually standing in them today, so it's not going to hurt too much. A little history about Playboy. But let's see who's here first. Let's see. Hello, Radio Randy. Hello. Keep it going. There we go. There we go. Ah, beautiful. I love that. Yay. So we just had Easter, which is always celebrated on a Sunday in America, apparently, but in different countries, they celebrate it on different days. And it's celebrated, I think it's between March 22nd and April 25th or something like that, or they're March 24th to April 22nd, so somewhere in there. I can't remember exactly, but it's celebrated after the very first full moon within those weeks when it follows. So in America, it's different. Hello, cowboy. How are you? It makes me happy. I have friends here. Hello. And I see so many people are texting me too. Thank you. But I'm live right now. I can't respond to these. Tune in. We're talking about Easter. Did you guys or gals celebrate it? Does anybody out there celebrate it anymore? My family does. I was raised in a Christian family, but I wouldn't really consider myself Christian. But don't let that tune you off about what I'm about to share with you. Like, stay tuned because we're going to give some little factoids about Christianity, Easter, and bunnies, Playboy bunnies. Good. You did. Nice. Beautiful. So, can't really see the ears all the way in there. Maybe I'll have to dart back every once in a while and be like, hey, rabbit. This is my baby girlfriend's Pinky Pez, by the way. And when I say my baby girlfriend, that's my niece, Zoe. It's huge. Had to spray it. It smelled like her room. I'll just leave that one blank. Also, quick shout out. It's my sister Terry's Earth Life Day. Tira, happy birthday. I love you so much. So Easter, yes, we had it this past Sunday. So when I was a little girl, I went to church sometimes. I lived with my grandparents off and on, and I really went to church more with my grandmother. And I learned about Jesus that way, and through my uncles and my father too. My mother also, but she was what I'd say like a strict Christian, or all about going to church on Sundays. She taught me some things, and some things, you just learn over time. That I did learn about Jesus, and I learned about Good Friday, which is sad. I don't know why I laugh before I say that. It's really sad, actually, terribly sad. So he died for our sins, right? That's what they tell us. This that he did. I do. I like what he rep, which is be good, don't lie, don't cheat, don't just be good to one another. And I might emphasize on some of those things in a little bit of my own personal beliefs, but I think that you don't have to be a Christian to believe those things. Just know what's good. Anyway, they had the Last Supper, which was where Jesus was with his apostles. Now, when I was little, I used to get disciples and apostles confused. I didn't know the difference really. I was like, what's the difference? But apparently, like, disciples are followers of Jesus, and apostles were his chosen ones, his 12 chosen ones, supposedly all men, but I still have a theory. I think that Mary Magdalene was one of those chosen ones. I think she is. And if you look at some of the art over the years, specifically Leonardo da Vinci's painting of the Last Supper, you can see Jesus and whatever his version of Jesus was to him, with, I think it's like 7 on one side, 5 on the other, but so Jesus is right, which would be like this to you guys, because I think everything's opposite. It looks like a female to me. It really does. Looks like a woman is to his right. And I think that was Mary Magdalene. And anyway, they had the Last Supper. And then Judas, that almost cussed. I am going to cuss. Judas, that bastard, ratted out Jesus and told all, I'm going to just say all the bad people. That's going to keep it real simple, where he was. And so Jesus went and he was put on the cross and he died. And what they say, he died for our sins. And I like that message a lot. I really do. I think it's beautiful. I really do. Now, I haven't read all of the Bible, so I don't know everything about it, New Testament or Old, but I know some things. And I think it's beautiful what he represents. Mm, I think it's beautiful. Do you think it's beautiful? Are you religious? Are you Christian? What do you believe? Anyway, 3 days later, when he was put into the tomb, Mary Magdalene went, and she went to, I guess, weep at his grave at the tomb, and she noticed that the tomb was open and he was not there, that his body had disappeared in some ways. But the story that has been told is that he arose from the dead. It's pretty cool. And for 40 days, he went and he visited his disciples. I guess not the apostles, maybe some disciples too, but for 40 days, he went and he visited these people that followed him, and he appeared to them. But I don't know if he appeared to them like in, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong or right, because I haven't read all the Bible. Not that that's completely the right word. Again, I'm not challenging beliefs, but I'm just saying, I'm speaking as an outsider that's learned a little. He went and he visited his disciples, and I always wonder if he visited them like in his human form when he was healthy and young, or the way that they remembered him, or if he was like an apparition, like a ghost coming in and out, or in dreams. Did he visit them in dreams? I don't know. Or was he like a zombie? Was Jesus like, and I'm sorry, some of you guys might think this is sacrilegious, but like, was he like, like struggling, like just like, he's, his body's just like deteriorating, and he's just like, don't do bad. Please don't do bad. You're gonna go to hell. And do my zombie voice, kind of like zombies. Like they have a lot of struggle breathing. Apparently, I was a zombie once, but it's like, don't do bad or evil. I can't even do that straight. It's so ridiculous. But I do wonder how he visited them. I'm sure it's in the Bible in some places how he visited specific people, but I often wondered like who all he visited. It was for 40 days. So there's also something in the Bible where like 40 days before he was crucified, they call Lent, and they honor or remember him by putting the ashes on their forehead. People do. And I can remember being a little girl and seeing this for the first time, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like seeing some guy drive down the road, and like I was like, did he get shot? Like what happened? And then I would see it, a couple other places people have this. I'm like, what is going on? Then I learned so, a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of history. That's how they honor him. Do any of you beautiful people out there do that? Do you put the ashes or the mark on your forehead anymore? Or just do it in thought? Or you just do like Pascal and it's like Saturday before Sunday and you light the candle and you speak about him and his read from the Bible and things like that. I don't know. Again, this isn't just supposed to be about Christianity or religion. It's just kind of like a little story that I'm twining into where we go into Easter. But anyway, it is, I don't know. I celebrate Easter, but I think of it almost like as a pagan holiday in a lot of ways, where as a little girl I had, we go and we get like the eggs. It's my Easter hat, upside down one, the bunny ears. And you get like the chocolates, you get the eggs, and you get the bunnies. I might have some of this later because it looks really good, delicious. Yeah. While I'm on this tip of Christianity, though, I want to talk about something too before I swerve it into like Easter and the pagan holiday that it is. In my very first episode of Baby's Crib, I got to interview an amazing woman named Jan Smith. She goes by Mama Jan Smith, and I got to interview her engineer, who's also a musician. He's a musician. He's a singer, songwriter. He does amazing things. But they work together at Jan Smith Studios, and they do amazing work. And on Good Friday, Jan's song, I Did It, came out. And it's beautiful. Now, she didn't write this. I think a man by the name of Pat Terry, something like that. I think he wrote it originally, but it's a beautiful, beautiful song. And it's so beautiful. Like every time she speaks or does anything, I watch her and I listen to her and it just blows me away what she does. You can feel the energy of light coming through her. So she's spreading his word that way and it touches me. But anyway, watch episode 1 of Baby's Crib. Do it. You'll see some trailers first. If you're following me right now and you're on the channel, just go back to the page and you'll see it. Also subscribe, by the way. Hit that little bell. I think it's, for me, it would be here. Ding! For you guys, maybe it's there. I don't know. Flip it. This is an iPad. Hit it, subscribe, hit like, hit comments, tell me what you think, what you feel. And I'd love to hear from you. Let's see. Oh, it's ah. So anyway, Jan Smith, she just put out this song called I Did It, and it's incredible. It's beautiful. She's singing and she's playing acoustic guitar on the song. And one of her dear friends, Peter Vogel, is playing electric guitar in it. And I think he's also singing, no, he's playing the harmonica in this song. It's just a beautiful song. It was engineered by Jesse Owen Aston, who was also on the very first episode of Baby's Crib. Again, check it out. It's beautiful. It's a variety show. You'll hear like a lot about their stories and a little bit about how I feel about the things that they're sharing with me. And you can also say what you feel about the things that they're sharing as well. Hi. Hello. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I don't know. It's a beautiful show. It really is. That episode specifically is, all the episodes are dear to my heart and they're not all out yet. It's a continuing show, but that one specifically. So check it out. Mama Jen's song, I Did It. I think it's on YouTube and it might be on other platforms, but it's beautiful. And the video that goes with it was put out by Mil Cannon. I don't know if any of you guys know who he is, but he's amazing. It's like a lyrical video. So it's compelling with all the imagery that you see. And like for me, it takes my breath away. It's so many images of people that, they're sad, but it's like it's different horrible things that have gone on. One powerful song, but it's like I did it, I made it. Jesus Christ. So for Mama Jan, that is a love letter to Jesus and also to her mama who crossed over recently, and just to Christians, to the human race, really. It's a beautiful song. Check it out. I couldn't tell you who it was mixed or mastered by, but it's a beautiful song. You can find it on YouTube. Also, Mama Jan's page is like, it's just ridiculous. The people that she's worked with are like she's the vocal coach of the stars. She's worked with so many different people. So I could give you her resume, but just check her out. She's the deal. She's the deal. She's the deal. She's amazing. Amazing. That's my word. Can you still hear me okay? Still going on all right? Kind of in the PG-13 realm of this show, kind of. Definitely not R yet. I'd say PG-13. I love this thing, by the way. My sister got it for me. So Easter. Does anybody know where that word originated from, or anything about Easter and its origins, how it came about? Anyone? Anyone? No? It's an Anglo-Saxon word that is supposed to be the name of the goddess that represents fertility. And it's like, you could pronounce it different ways. We say Easter, but it's like Eostre, Eostre, or Yostre. It's like, Yostre! It's kind of Japanese. Yostre. Yeah. So it originated from there. She's the goddess of fertility. I wonder what she looked like. Again, this is just a story. We don't know this to be true, because just like some folklore or mythology, and some people might even say some religions, there's a little bit of the truth that gets intertwined with maybe some fabrication and things like that are woven out, and you have to decide what feels right to you. But I like it. I'll go with it. She's the goddess of fertility. I like that a lot. Do you know why they chose the bunny to be a mascot for Easter? Does anybody know? Anybody? Anybody have any idea? The bunny rabbit? The bunny rabbit? The bunny rabbit? Does anybody know? D'Artagnan, you want to tell him? He is out. He's had too much chocolate. Anyway, because rabbits love to have sex. I wouldn't say they make love, but they love to have sex. It's sad that a female rabbit can mate up to like 6 to 12 times in one day. Rabbits. She doesn't just choose one, she chooses many. She just like likes to have sex a lot. They just like to fuck. Fucks like a rabbit. That means a lot and fast and quick. I don't like lovers like that, by the way. Get off, go, go, go. Love making. I don't know if rabbits make love. I think they're just there to procreate. And I think they can have like, it's 6 times a year they can have litters, something like that. And they can have anywhere from like 1 to 12 bunnies that they call kits. I think that's the right word, kits. Now, I'm not reading from a teleprompter. This is from memory. So if I'm getting some of this a little off or wrong, you can school me. You can educate me. You can tell me, no, baby, it's this or that. This is just coming from, memory, which works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. Maybe I got to get my radar straight to the ning, 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 ning of the universe of like what's clear. Yep, she has anywhere from 1 to 12 bunny rabbits or kits. So, in 325 AD, and for those of you that don't know what AD or BC is, AD is after the death of Jesus Christ. Everything after he crossed over and died for our sins, or so they say. And I'm not trying to be sarcastic when I say that. It's what everyone says. I don't always say that, but thank you, Jesus. Thank you for anyone that would die for all the bullshit that goes on here on earth. Thank you. Anyway, so 325 AD has a little bit to do with the history of where the egg first came about within Easter. Not these chocolate eggs that I have before me, not these yummy little delicious things that just melted in my hand when we started this live. See if I can juggle. Yep, I can do it. Yep, I'm a professional juggler. Going straight to the circus. If I try to really do it, they're going to go all over the fucking room and I won't be able to eat these chocolates until much later when I get out of this bed. But anyway, they started dyeing eggs 325 AD. And they started dyeing them red to represent the blood of Christ. It's kind of interesting too. They wanted to, it's just how people do their rituals and their ceremonies is beautiful and interesting, isn't it? The 325 AD. Let me see, who else is talking? It's me. Oh, sweet. Yeah. Ah. Okay. So somewhere around, I've got a couple little notes here to go to though, like da 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 da. So it's like, yeah, like 325, which would have been like Mesopotamian times, which is like back then that's what it was called, but now it's Iraq and Turkey. But they started dyeing the eggs red to represent the blood of Christ. And then somewhere around the 1700s, the Germans brought Easter and the bunny, like hop, 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 over to America. They had already been celebrating Easter on their own special day. And they did it in a way where they would tell boys and girls that if you're good or you're bad, well, if you're good, the Easter bunny is going to bring you some eggs, some little presents. So the children over there would put little nests and D'Artagnan, they would put little nests like next to their beds or little baskets in hopes to be waking up the next day to have Easter eggs in their basket or little treats if they were good boys or good girls. Kind of like Santa Claus, right? If you're a good girl or a good boy, you get presents, you get rewarded. It's little bit of baby into this, what I'm sharing with you guys. That has never made sense to me. Like, you get presents if you're good or bad. It's never made sense. I can get, like, wanting your children, or if your parents or guardians or whomever, wanting your children to be good, to get rewarded, but not to like trick them. Like, don't act bad or you won't get rewarded. That's always never made sense to me. Exactly, right? Doesn't make sense. Especially for the children that don't have, they come from parents or a life where they don't have money and they can't get presents or gifts. So they're bad children. Is that what they think? That's where it gets crossed to me. It's never made sense to me, and it's just makes me sad. I think I learned that there was no Santa Claus. And if you're a child out there watching this right now, your parents maybe should be monitoring this a little bit better. But that's how I figured out there was no Santa Claus when I was very young, and also with the Easter Bunny. But it wasn't because I was a bad child or anyone around me was. I just could see that it wasn't fair. I was like, there's no way this could be right. People coming to school talking about all the presents they got for Christmas or what the Easter Bunny did for them and all these things. But another child didn't get that. Maybe me sometimes. Didn't make sense. So yeah, you figure it out. It's not right. Anyway, the things that parents or adults do to manipulate children or teach them or whatever it is, to each his own. But it's never made sense to me. Yeah. Bat the bunny. You gotta bat the bunny. What's that from? Anybody know what that's from? You gotta bat the bunny. Bat the bunny. It's from a movie called Swingers. Swingers. I love that movie so much. Vince Vaughn. It's a classic. I love that movie so much. It's so great. And you guys let me know if the sound comes and goes, because I'll make adjustments. I've got other mics. I say, guys, maybe there's some females out there watching this too that are just like, oh, but I can't show the world that I'm watching this woman right now dressed up in pink. Speak of all these things. Anyway, so the Germans brought Easter over to America. And we, like I said, we always celebrate this because I'm American. I live in America, even though my background, my heritage, things like that goes into a whole bunch of different directions. I would even say culturally, depending on a lot of things, actually. And I don't want to cross this over into religion too much with my culture, but yeah, it's something they brought it over to Americans in like 1700s, something like that, late 1600s, 1700s, where on Sundays kids now go out and they have their Easter baskets, and they go and they hunt for Easter eggs. You dye them, but first you hard boil them and you dye them many beautiful colors. The colors have gotten amazing, and what you can do with an Easter egg just blows me away. It really does. It's art. My favorite color was always blue. I would make it blue or turquoise. And then I don't know if you people remember, like, the crayon, they may still have this, that you could draw on the egg ahead of time, like whatever magical word you wanted it to be, or your name or some symbol. And then you dye the egg, and then it came out, and that wouldn't have taken the dye. So like the little letters or numbers or whatever design you did would come out that way, and you knew it was your egg when you went to go find it. I always thought it was kind of cool. You could put stickers on them, all that stuff. And then your fingers, of course, they have the little like metal things that you dunk the egg into the cup, right? Take it out. But if you got messy, your fingers got blue or purple. And you could mix and match the colors. And that was always fun. I do love the colors of Easter. It's so cool. The pinks and the blues and the purples and the yellows, all those colors. Spring, new, rising from the ground, rebirth, coming out of the winter. I love it. I guess you could say I'm more pagan. I'm like more like the Easter Bunny than more like Christian, if you were to ask me. It's hard to get both of his eyes because my hand doesn't want to go. Okay, that's the other side. When you're looking at yourself doing something and it's opposite, it doesn't work because it's just like a reflection. And that's eye bad. There's your eye, buddy. There's your eye, and there's your nose. Peeps. Do you guys like Peeps? They're like that marshmallow candy inside with like the sugar around it. I think this Peeps came out, like, it started with the Pez. I believe it started with Pez, like in the 1927 in Austria, something like that. It was like a minty candy that they created in Austria for like breath mint or minty candy, something like that. And then around like the 60s or something like that, they came out with the dispensers, right? Little Pez dispensers. I wasn't alive, so this is just all stuff I've read. Might be crossing a couple of years here and there, but the Pez dispensers, those are really cool. And then like in the 70s, they came out with the different little characters or different little designs on the Pez, different colors and things like that. And the different Pez dispensers that had different heads. I can kind of remember like a Daffy Duck, something like that, Pez dispenser. And then somewhere around, I think it was 1987, is when they made Pez into that marshmallow candy that has a sugar around it, which was really cute. They have it in like little chicks. Little chicks represent chickens, eggs, rebirth, spring, coming from religion, rebirth, the egg. And bunnies, fertility. They like to have sex a lot. They like to have a lot of sex and procreate because they are sluts. You are a slut, you bunny. Their representation of fertility, I guess you could say, because they have a lot of babies. They need to practice safe sex, I think, these rabbits. Guys still hear me out there? I know. See no, hear no, speak. No evil. Anyway, he has no genitalia or she has none. We don't know if pink represents female or male. Who knows? To me, it's still like a feminine color, but I'm always like pink and blue. Blue is my favorite color. Yes, 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 I do. So I'm going to take a little sip of water. You guys do the same thing out there. I love this thing. I really do. You take it to the gym with me. I want to get it in blue. Oh, voila. That looks shiny. Kind of like the shine though. All right. So we're going to swerve into a little bit of Playboy. Just a little bit of Playboy. Have any of you beautiful people out there ever heard of Playboy magazine? Anyone? Have any of you beautiful people ever looked at a Playboy magazine? Don't be shy. Just hit like a thumbs up. Little Playboy symbol. Oh, you're so shy. All you people are so shy. And if you're saying you haven't, you're fibbing. And Jesus is not going to like that. Of course. Yes, yes, yes. So, little history about that. Let's see here. So, do you know when the very first Playboy magazine came out? Does anybody know? Anybody know? It was 1953. 1953. And Marilyn Monroe was on the cover of that magazine. I want you guys to tune in to Baby's CriB variety show, which again, if you're watching this right now, whether it's live right now, in time or later, turn into Baby's CriB variety show. It's this channel that you're watching right now. And you're going to see me interview an incredible photographer by the name of David Rams, world-renowned photographer, Playboy photographer, dear friend of mine that has now crossed over since I interviewed him. It's been really sad. This happened just in like the last 6 months. And it's been really hard for his family and his friends with this, but I feel so honored to have been able to interview him for this series, which I broke into a 3-part series. And I think I even put the links into this description where you can click onto that later. And you can hear David's story about being a Playboy photographer and also how we met. I was a Playboy model and David Ram shot me. He was one of the first photographers that ever shot me in Atlanta. And that was back in like 19, none of your business. You got to figure it out. You got to figure out what year it was. But we talk a lot about those photo shoots that we had together and the Playboy industry and being a model and some of his personal stories of being a Playboy photographer. He tells a lot about his life in that field specifically, and other areas that he did. He shot celebrities, amazing people, all kinds of incredible musicians, like hip hop artists, all kinds of rock and roll stars. Like he's a celebrity photographer, really, but he started out sweet. He actually started out shooting in churches, which is kind of ironic that we're talking about Easter today, and going from Christianity to churches and then swerving to Playboy. He said if they ever did a book on him, it would be called Children, Get Out of the Room. From preachers to pussies. I know it's wrong, it's naughty, but whatever, we're adults and we can speak however we want to speak. And you can also turn the channel if you don't like this. But I know a lot of you are going to want to keep listening because you're going to want to hear what's happening inside of my brain and what's going on. So some of the stories we spoke about, we spoke about on our photo shoots, which, a lot, it's crazy. You're a naked woman and all these women are beautiful, right? They're supposed to be the girls next door, but really they're not girls next door. Playboy models are gorgeous. Like they're so beautiful. Not that girls next door aren't beautiful, but I would say they're more glamorous. And maybe that's the hair and makeup, but I would say the girls next door isn't really that's never fit for me, the girls next door at all. But anyway, Marilyn Monroe was the very first model to ever shoot on Playboy, on the cover of Playboy magazine. But she didn't consent to the usage of those pictures. Did you guys know that out there? Did you know? She shot with this photographer by the name of Tom Kelly. I think it was 3 years prior to that. And he paid her something like $50, which probably was a lot of money back then. But she never consented to the usage of those pictures. But she was put on the cover, the very first model on that magazine. Yeah, it's interesting, right? She didn't consent. And she's, it's crazy. But yeah, she was put on the cover of that. And, it's an iconic symbol. She is. I mean, Marilyn Monroe doesn't get much bigger than that when it comes to iconic symbols that are female and, the tragedy of her story and just all that. But yeah, she didn't consent to the usage of those pictures. Now, in 54, they started doing what they call Playmate of the Month. And this would be models or actresses or people that were beautiful or in the industry in some way, shape, or form. And they would start putting these women into these magazines, Playboy magazine, as the centerfolds, which, love it, right? Centerfolds. Remember, if you ever have a Playboy magazine, they don't even make them anymore. We'll get to that later, but you open it up and it's like, chunk, chunk, chunk. Whoa. When I was a little girl and I saw this magazine, and I didn't see the one with Marilyn in it, like physically, but it was like, I want to be like her. You do? Cool. I want to look like her, kind of like Miss America in a way. And I know it's hair and makeup and beauty and lighting and smoke and mirrors and all that stuff, but it was, I don't know, they just were so beautiful to me, these women. And they are so beautiful. A little factoid too, that Playboy magazine, Playboy magazine came out in 1953, but in the 60s, they actually put out a Braille version of it so that people that couldn't see, that were blind, could like read it. So it's known for some of its articles. It really is known for that too. Like it's interesting articles and illustrations and, a lot of, I mean, literature in a way, but like some of the comedy cheekiness that goes with it, not just the naked women. Although I can say that the reason, yes, exactly. The reason that I looked at it wasn't really for the fucking articles. It was for the women. I wanted to see who was modeling and who was next, kind of neat. And back then in the 50s, the women only made something like $25 to $100 for photo shoots, which back then was probably a lot of money, but that's just not a lot, right? And depending on like as the years progressed and the women that were really famous, like actresses and models and people like that were in the magazine, they would make anywhere from like, I don't know, something like $10,000 to $25,000, which it's money. But when you think about sometimes the level of some of these people that have shown their beautiful bodies to the world, it's not a lot of money. It really isn't. So it just shows that they want to do it just because they want to be in the magazine. I think it's the classier of the magazines when it comes to maybe, would you say, like a skin magazine? But it's more than that. It really is. I think it's about empowering women because you get to show that you're beautiful, but also stand for something. You put your foot down. Feminism. Mm, mm. And look at me. Here I am, standing for something. But I really mean it when I'm telling you how I feel. Don't mess with me, buddy. I'm serious. Some stupid little poses. But anyway, you can find me in some of those magazines. They don't even make the paper magazines anymore, by the way. They stopped in 2023. They went completely digital. But in 2003, they were still making the paper magazines and the digital copies. That's when they started coming out with like the digital version. What was interesting is sometimes I would go into like a store, not like a store, but a store, gas station, or, like a bookstore or something like that, and go to that aisle where they have the magazines with Playboy models, Playboy magazines, and different magazines. And you could go and I'd purchase it, and I just to see who was in it, who's modeling in this now. And it would be like, the girls of summer, or bathing suit beauties, are like blonde brunettes and redheads, or lingerie. Do it. Lingerie, or the X girls, are, you know, things like that. And I would go and I would purchase the magazine, and then I, get to the car, immediately kind of want to open it up just to see what was going on. And lo and behold, all too often, my pictures would be in there from whatever photo shoot that we had. So it's like when you shoot with them, they can use your pictures over and over and over whenever they want to, as many times as they want to. And I want you to watch the David Rams episodes of my show. It's the 5th episode, but it's a 3-part series. Playboy photographer. He was amazing. I shot with him. We tell a lot of stories, but we talk about how those shoots went, and they would shoot you with like 3 looks, and just some of the little secrets behind those stories. I want you to watch the show because it's pretty interesting. It really is. So yeah, I'd go and I would look for my magazines, and there would be my picture. Or sometimes I would have a friend call me and go, "Hey, I just saw you in X da 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 whatever magazine." I'm like, "Really?" They would never let us know ahead of time. You just put your pictures out there. Sneaky little cheekies. Anyway, you sign on the dotted line, and there you go. Time for some more water. Yes, 333. I love that. Anybody out there, throw me some threes too. And anybody out there that knows what 333 means to me. Love, magic, beauty. I feel you. And I love all of you people out there that send those to me, whether it's through text or messages or little memes. I really do. I love it a lot. Because I know that means you get me and you're thinking about me. And it's beautiful and profound. Thank you. 333. Wow. Some would say that's half a feminine side of the devil, or I'm only half evil. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to be cheeky within this whole conversation that we're having about Easter, Christianity, and Playboy bunnies. So yes, the very first magazine came out in 1953 with Marilyn Monroe on the cover. I have to come closer. Yes, exactly. Duality. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. 1953. And then they started having the models of the month, like Playboy model of the month. And then they had the Playmate of the year, which is a really big thing that you wanted to be if you posed for the magazine. And I think back then, even to be it was only something like $25,000 that you would make if you were like the Playboy model of the year. It wasn't a lot of money. And there's a lot of things that you had to do that went with that too. Like go to the Playboy Mansion parties and, promote and host events and videos that you had to do, things like that. There's a lot. Again, check out the links in the description under the David Rams series that I interviewed him for. And we'll tell a lot of stories. There's even a longer version of that. I've got a lot of behind the scenes that I'll probably put out later just so all of you guys can hear more of the stories about David and Playboy magazine and some secrets that I didn't tell in these episodes, and that we did tell in these episodes, but I kind of edited it down. But there's a lot there, and I miss that man a lot. We all miss you, David, so much. Does anybody know what the very first black model came out into print in Playboy magazine? Does anybody know who this was and what year it was? Anybody? Anybody? I've got the Easter factoids. Over here. I have a cheat sheet. I do, but there's several here, actually. Does anybody know? Do you know? Don't look it up. Yes, exactly. David Rams, rest in heaven. He's so amazing. I think that's how we can, a part of our legacy is obviously the way that we make people feel, but what we leave behind, and with him and what he did with photography, encapsulating those moments of people, not just Playboy models, but like celebrities and just real people and his children and just everyday life and even the churches that he shot. Amazing photographer, such an incredible artist. Things like that, they don't go away. They're forever there. That's a part of our legacy, and I love that. I really do. But who knows who the very first black model was that shot for Playboy magazine? Does anybody know? Does anybody know? Anybody out there? Does anybody know? Anybody out there? Her name was Jennifer Jackson. Not the Miss Jackson if you're nasty, as in Janet. Jennifer Jackson. Did you guys ever see her magazine? It wasn't Eartha Kitt's. Although I'm not even sure if Eartha Kitt did shoot for Playboy magazine, but I bet she did. Or maybe she was like, no, darling, I'm not going to shoot. No, her voice, kitty cat. No, darling, I do not shoot this. Why would I do this? It's below me, her raspy voice. No, I am too powerful. Shitty fucking impersonation of Eartha Kitt. Sorry, Eartha. Not wanting you to turn in your grave right now, but she was very, very mysterious and electrifying and very fire. She was Catwoman embodied. I think she was perfect. Perfect Catwoman. I liked Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman also. Who was your favorite Catwoman, beautiful people? Loved Holly Berry. That whip. Pow! Love her. Love Holly Berry. Love, love, love. So yes, Jennifer Jackson in 1965 was the very first black model to appear in Playboy magazine. 65. So they came out in 53. So that's 11 years, yeah, they waited. Anyway, I used to think that Playboy models, like it was just more like blondes. When you would look at it, it was like, there's a lot of blondes in this magazine. Now, I'm not saying race is this or that. I'm like, there's a lot of white girls in this magazine. Then they started switching it up a little bit. A little bit. Yeah, they switched it up a lot. They switched it up so much. Let's see. I think it was in 1970. The first Asian model. Does anybody know who that was? She went by the name of Mimi. Not Minnie. Mimi. Anybody know? It was in what year was this when she came out? Oh, that's right. Marguerite Empress was her name. So the very first Asian model to shoot for Playboy magazine was Marguerite Empress, and she went by the name of Mimi, and that was in 1975. Nope. 1959. Damn it. I've got to get like a teleprompter. I really do. Because I'm doing this from memory. I'm like, I don't need a teleprompter. I can just do this. I can read it. It's here. It's in there, right? And if you're live, you don't want to be reading some fucking script. If you're doing this as like something you're pre-recording and editing and doing whatever, yes. But no. So anyway, Mimi, first Asian. Very first Asian to model for Playboy magazine. She was hot. I think Asian women are extremely hot. Extremely hot. Very beautiful. And there's been many other women of color and races throughout the years. It's what it's supposed to stand up for. It's like versatility and women empowerment and feminism. Does anybody know when the very first trans woman was in Playboy magazine? Because yes, this has happened. It's kind of neat. And they were all about it. Playboy magazine was all about LGBTQ plus. I think there's a fucking AI in there now. I don't know. But they're all about this. It is. Does anyone know who the very first trans model was to be in Playboy magazine and what year it was? You get millions of dollars if you know. I wasn't sure anyway, but her name was Ines Raul, Inesrau. It was in 2017, and it was huge. It was really, really big, and I just think it's beautiful. I mean, some of you guys, you might be on the fence about this, how you feel about trans people, you know, and this kind of thing, because you may think it's supposed to be in one lane or whatnot. But some people, you know, how do you describe being born hermaphrodite? Both sexes. How do you describe that? There are no accidents in nature. I don't think there are. Really don't. That everybody has their own opinion. And I'm not here to judge. And hopefully you are not here to judge either, but you can have your own opinion. And you can tell me too how you fucking feel about it, because that's what this is. It's a conversation. It's a conversation. I don't want y'all looking down here, but I'm about to be silly. It's a conversation. It's all we're having right now. It's a conversation. Right, Pinky? I call him Pinky for my own reasons. We go on travels throughout the universe on a show that I have called Baby Rella's Spaceship. Stay tuned for that one because it's pretty cool. I want to get off this planet sometime, and I've been building a spaceship called the Glitoris Pandora. This is a true story. Traveling the universe to find some kind of intellectual life out there outside of what's been going on here on this planet since like 2019. It's kind of some weird shit. Some more factoids about the Playboy Mansion. Let's do Playboy, a little bit more Playboy. Ready? You know, in the very first Playboy magazine, no, we already did magazine. The very first Playboy Mansion came out, or people started going to the Playboy Mansion. Does anybody know? And where it was? Does anybody know? Are you guys like, no, I don't know. I never went there. Did you ever get invited? Did you ever go? Let's see. I know it was like in 71. Yes, it was. It was. So many Easter factoids. So many. Ah, this little run keeps bothering me. I'm gonna end up taking these off. Oh, maybe I'll sell them. I'll sell these like stockings or these hosiery. I need the money. I'll sell them for $333 if anybody wants to buy them. Just kidding. What is it, like the fans only or whatever people have nowadays? Or only fans? They sell weird shit, or they do weird shit. These are definitely going in the garbage after this because I've got runs all in them. These stiletto shoes with the little rhinestones on them have been snagging it. They are going into the trash. Unless one of you guys wants to buy them. Again, I'm just fucking kidding about that. I'm not selling my fucking undergarments. I'm not selling these bunny ears either. But the Playboy Club, which was the mansion in Chicago, it came out in 1954. I think it was like right when the magazine came out, somewhere around there. Yeah, it was in the first year. And they used to have some parties there. All kinds of socialites would come, famous people, beautiful people, all kinds of musicians and things like that. But even politicians throughout the years would go to the Playboy mansions, rub elbows. Hugh Hefner would host lots of events that had to do with politics. He really believed in using your voice and freedom of speech and, standing for things. He really did. Even though he wore his pajamas, his silk pajamas, and his robe and his slippers, that was his look. He was only 27 years old when the first issue of Playboy magazine came out. Now, again, it was in like 53, but only 27 years old. Do you guys know how he started the magazine? Anybody know? Any clue? Again, pal. He gathered money from friends and family. I know it is young, only 27 years old. So he gathered money from friends and family to start the magazine. He was a copywriter at an advertising agency. I feel like if I go like this, I look like I'm an angel. Oh, I'm glowing. I'm an angel. I'm an angel bunny. Skip all around. My cat just looked at me like, what the fuck are you doing, Mom? We're singing D'Artagnan. And there's a yawn. He's like, I've heard that song before. Well, anyway, don't act bored. And now he's cleaning himself because I'm so dirty. Sorry for messing your fur up. The Playboy symbol, though, also, that's like one of the most highly recognized symbols in the world, supposedly. These are things that you read, but it originally wasn't even that Playboy bunny symbol. It was like a stag or something like that. Hugh Hefner wanted to call the magazine Stag, but there was a magazine that was already out called Stag, and he was going to be sued if he did, so he chose Playboy, which was supposed to be an entertainment magazine for young men, like bachelors and things like that. Again, interesting articles, cheeky fun, but yeah, so that's what it's supposed to be. And it was, but he gathered the money from friends and family, and he even got, I think it was $1,000 from his mother to start the magazine, and obviously from his job working as an copywriter for an advertisement agency. Yeah, advertisement agency. Got the money that way. But he tested the waters for a little while to see, like, if it was going to sell or not, like, who was going to bite, because this type of magazine and naked women, like, is anybody going to buy it? And the money started coming in, and he started selling subscriptions to it. And I think he realized this is going to be something. But back then, does anybody know how much the magazine went for? How much you could buy that magazine for? Back in the 50s? Anybody know? 50 cents. That's all. Only 50 cents. So cheap, right? But back then was probably a lot. Exactly. 50 cents. Did you look on your phone? But only 50 cents. It's not a lot, right? Now I think the magazine goes for something like, it's like $19, something like that, for the subscription. It's all digital now. But and like a yearly is like, well, $19 now is really like $33 with the taxes and what's going on right now. Craziness. Yearly is something like, I don't know, close to $200, maybe $180, but it goes, which really means like $225. I know, shit's ridiculous. I know, it's crazy. Why can't things just be 50 cents anymore? Why? Inflation, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, D'Artagnan. It's ridiculous. But yes. So the very first Playboy club was in Chicago, and that started immediately. But Hugh Hefner bought the Playboy Mansion in LA. Does anybody know what year that was? Anybody? Anyone? It was in 1971. And the reason that he bought the Playboy Mansion in LA was because his very dear friend crossed over tragically at the mansion in Chicago. He was a director. I can't remember the gentleman's name right now. I want to say it was Butch, and I'm messing this up a little bit, but he crossed over tragically from an overdose. So Hugh wanted to get on out of there and go to LA, and so he did. They had a zoo there. It was known for their parties. They had an amazing outdoor pool. Some of the funky rooms that they have was really cool. And to be invited, I know, and to be invited to these parties was like, it was huge. We're going to the mansion, the Playboy Mansion. They would have different events that were themed, and Hugh Hefner would host different events for politicians. Donald Trump went to some of these parties. Not that anything's wrong with that, but I just, I want to cross this into and saying that to act a certain way, like people have not done this, or this, or looked left, or spoken this way, and they are just this way. It's like me, you know, if you started asking me about the Bible and going, yes, I am totally Christian. I am saying this because that's what you guys want to hear. I can't say that to you because I don't know all about it. I know some things, not everything. I know the difference between right and wrong. Don't lie. Don't fucking lie. Don't fucking cheat. Don't cheat. It's horrible. If you're going to lie and if you have to do something and have to lie about it, why fucking do it? That's a mental condition. It's wrong. It's wrong. Don't steal. Don't steal. Don't manipulate for your own personal gain. Don't hurt others. Don't. Fucking just don't. Don't do it. Stop. Please stop. There's different levels of this. Obviously, that's why people go to jail and shit like that. Criminal system doesn't work, but criminal justice system. But, you know, you can do something and you can admit to it and say sorry as a human being and say sorry, right? Repent for your sins, say sorry and try to fix it. But not with just a fucking word. Not just I'm sorry. It's the behavior. Change the fucking behavior. And I think that's rebirth. Everybody can be reborn. Everybody can realize their mistakes or the pain that they've inflicted on other people, right? You can realize this and you can go, what the fuck am I doing? Or what's happening around me? And really be sorry. Make it right. Fix it. On that tip, I'm going to turn water into wine. Let's see if I can do it. Jesus was magic, so let's see if I can do this. It's water, I promise. But then you have to say like a little, you have to meditate over it and go, Ambe o, Ambe o, doesn't sound very Christian. Ambe do, ne o. They pray you water into wine, you keep the party going, and let's see if it worked. And I don't know if it did yet because I haven't tested it yet to see if I can make water into wine. Let's see if it worked. It fucking worked! I'm magic. I can change water into wine. So basically, we all have the power inside of us to create magic or tell whatever story we want to tell. But I think we all know what the difference is between good and evil, right? What's good and bad? I think we do. Our conscience know. We know. We know, 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 we know. You know, and you know, and you know, and you know. And as I'm getting closer, I realize this, look, this, okay, again, PG-13. This looks like a nipple. It is not. It is just the motherfucking thing that's inserted in here. We do know. Sorry, Journey, if I'm embarrassing you. It's inserted in here and it's bent. I tried to steam it out. Maybe that's the look of this top, though. It's supposed to look like that. So now you're really looking. But I saw it as I leaned forward. That's not what that is. They're couplets that are indented in a weird way. I don't know why. Hugh Hefner, he died when he was 91 years old in 2017. Oh my gosh. I bet he had so many girlfriends, right? But anytime I ever heard Hugh speak during interviews and talking, I liked the way the man spoke. I liked the way he spoke and what he stood for. I really did. I liked it a lot. And he started this magazine, like I said, supposed to be for bachelors, a way of life, empowering women. It's supposed to be. And I think that it has. Back in the Playboy clubs, do you guys know any, like what they wore? They still do, but do you know what like the signature pieces were within like a Playboy outfit when she was serving and things like that? What these playmates would wear? They've done documentaries about this. It was a standard black corset. It was usually strapless. So black panties and some stockings like these or like hosiery that were black, not snagged like mine was on the other side, and not pink shoes like these, but black pumps She had a little bunny tail. She had little bunny ears. Yes. She had cufflinks and she had a bow tie. And they were very schooled, I'll use my language, very schooled on how to act with poise and elegance and class as they served the patrons that came into the clubs. They still have Playboy clubs all over the world. I think they still have one in Vegas. I went to that one and it was fun. And the girls are beautiful. They really are. They're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. So I want you, beautiful people, to check out David Ram's episode in BaBy's CriB Variety Show. You're going to hear me talking to him, but a lot of our Playboy stories and his Playboy stories and the history of that and his life. Also check out Mama Jan's episode number 1. It's her and Jesse Owen Aston. She's a woman of Christ, of Jesus. She loves him. Like I said, her song just came out called I Did It. She didn't write it, but just came out on Good Friday, right before Easter. So I thought we'd swing into that from the Easter to the Playboy Bunnies. And I think it's a perfect fit. I really do. Probably going to go in a little bit. But do you guys have any questions you want to ask me? Did you guys ever get these candies when you were little, like the Easter bunnies that have the ears and the feet? Did you ever get these? Do you guys like chocolate? I say guys, and I mean girls too, not just guys. But did you? Whenever I got these, I never ever got a lot of chocolate in this little hat, this little bunny hat. It's like a rabbit in a hat and a bat, and 6 foot flawless. Whenever I got these, it's melting immediately because I'm so hot. Fire! I'm melting this chocolate bunny. Hot. I know. In the basket it was. But he would come with the ears, right, in his little feety weeties, and I would never want to bite his ears first. Usually they're separated, not like this cheap version, but separated. I would bite his little foot off first, and that kind of devour his body, just melt. And then I would bite his ears and sorry, bunny. Sorry, Mr. Wabbit. And bite your until he just had a face left. And it was usually like he had the little eye that was like the icing, the hard eye with the icing in the eyeball, and then I didn't want to do it. I felt like I was killing his face. That like his eyeball. And it tastes so good. Maybe Bill Cosby was good friends with him. I mean, there's a lot of people who've done some really fucked up things on earth, right? Doesn't mean they weren't friends with some good people or people that did all kinds of things. There are some people that should be in jail, and there are some people that should not be in jail that are in jail. I don't think it's a rehabilitation place. But anyway, my fingers are melting, and it's just melting his little waist right in two. I am hot. I'm like a superhero, like a hot superhero. Funky hot. I'm gonna put this down. I like it one more time. One more time because it's so delicious. It's very delicious. Sticky fingers, sticky fingers. And that's really sticky, but they feel like they should be sticky because I just touched chocolate. I did. I think I talked to you beautiful people about everything I wanted to. I think. Check out Mama Jan's episode number 1 of BaBy's CriB Variety Show. Check out David Ram's episode 5, 3-part series, D'Artagnan Agrees. Right? Tell him. He even makes an appearance in that episode, in David Ram's episode. He does a little factoid too about the Playboy Mansion back in the 70s. Let's see if any of this water that I turned to wine still tastes like wine. It does. The magic doesn't stop. All you have to do is just say the magic words around it. Yeah, that's all you have to do. So before I leave, I'm gonna put these little eggs. Actually, did you have a favorite like candy? I saw someone say that the Easter bunny was the favorite, but did you have a favorite candy when it comes to Easter? Anybody like those candies out there? The Cadbury eggs were my favorite. I love those with the little yolk inside. It looks like yolk, but it's like icing. So good. When they first came out, Cadbury, they didn't have that yolky thing inside. It was way before I was born. probably way before any of you beautiful people were born too. I think it was the 1800s, but they came out with it and it was hollow. Again, my juggling skills. And then, and then Reese's, yeah, yummy. Reese's are good. And then they started putting the filling inside of there. So good, so yummy to me. It's like my favorite. Wish they made it year round. I would be 900 pounds though. I'd be so fat. I'd be fat, fat, fat. And the green jelly beans. Yeah, those are kind of like, are they kind of minty? I can kind of taste them as you say that. Green jelly beans. I like jelly beans, but I was never too like fond of the licorice jelly beans. I never really liked those too much. It was kind of strange to me. I mean, I would eat them, but they were still kind of strange. Not really a licorice chick. Again, I'm drinking my water to wine that I made just a little while ago. So before I go and tell you beautiful people good night, because it's getting later and I've chatted for a while, I wanted to tell you to subscribe to Baby's Crib. Please do it for me. It's really easy. It's just a little bell. I'll be doing more of these lives. They'll be themed in some way, and I'll be trying my best to share little factoids about history and arts and entertainment and kind of incorporate that in however I feel I want to. And hopefully you beautiful people out there put this right here so nobody thinks I'm trying to flash them. That's extra. I have cash out, by the way. I just started this when I did my first live. It's Baby's Crib Variety Show, and every little bit helps. Beautiful people, it really does. The link is there in the description. I am serious when I say every little bit helps. It does. But I'm starting to go out on the town and interview people, different musicians, different rock bands, different singer-songwriters. And that little side avenue of Baby's Crib is called the Cradle Rockers. We got a few episodes already in the can. They're not scripted. They're very much on the fly, but it's kind of just like out after they perform and pick in their minds on whatever level they're on, but they're talking about their music and it's really cool. It's not like the variety show with all the bumpers and things like that, but I'll be incorporating that with this lives, whatever we do, and also hosting some red carpet events that you guys are going to dig within the TV and film industry here locally in Atlanta, independent scene. I know you guys are going to love that too. I'm not sure what I'm going to call it yet, though. Maybe you could help me figure out some names for that. I was thinking something like, like Starry Nights and Movie Lights, something like that. I don't know. I see some messages coming down. I should have turned that off. Anyway, take off these bunny ears. One more quick question. Ow, got my ring stuck in my hair. Ow, this is when I'm only just a girl. Okay, better. Yeah, better. Oh, Gwen Stefani, she posed for Playboy too. She did. She's just a girl in a world. No one will let her be. Let's see. Do you know how old the oldest Playboy model was that's posed for Playboy? I just learned this today. I was wondering because I was thinking they need to shoot more women of all ages because not only can they make them look beautiful with hair and makeup, I love no doubt too, hair, makeup, and lighting, but like the way that we take care of ourselves, it's like some of us really do try our best to take care of ourselves and show it off. This is 76. No, it's older than that. It's really cool. And it's gonna make you guys want to go get this magazine. But her name was Miriam Gonzalez. This was in 2016, and she was 89 years old. Right? So the oldest model for Playboy magazine, Miriam Gonzalez, she was 89 years old. I need to go get this magazine because I haven't seen it. I think that's beautiful. I really do. I do. Women empowerment, our bodies, our strength, it changes over time. We get older, but we get to get older. Some of us don't. We get to get older. Think about that for a minute. We fucking get to. Thank you, God, Jesus, Allah, Buddha, Krishna, whatever, the goddess of the universe. I know, it is awesome, right? It's pretty cool. It is cool. I think it's beautiful. I don't want to take these shoes off because they're getting on my nerves. They're kind of snagging my my Deladora blanket, my duvet cover. They're not really bedtime shoes. They're not. But they kind of worked with today's theme. Look at that. Check it out. Playboy. They're Playboy heels. Aren't they dope? I love them. I'm just a girl in the world. But that's not all they're going to let me be. I'm not stopping. I'm not. As an artist, we have to stay creative and we continue. Because if we don't, we're dying. I know, right? They're cool. They're cool. They're cool. They're cool. Yes, they are. So Easter factoids and Playboy bunnies. Toast to that. Before I go, I want you guys to subscribe to the channel. Again, if you've made it this far, I'll cut this up in little bits and pieces later, but I'm going to read you a bedtime story. But I want to put this on my space bunny mask because I want to feel fantastic and magical and spacey and disco funky cool. I love this thing. It's so fly. Kind of matches my bracelet that my sister-in-law Leslie got for me. Thank you, Miss Eshy. I love it. So you ready for your bedtime story? Some of you guys go to sleep at 9:17, girls and guys out there. And some of you, when you see this later, it might be nighttime or it might be morning. And regardless, that's what we're going to do. We might even turn this light down a little bit. Oh, just a little bit. We're going to go like to the arrow down. Oh, that didn't do it. Shit, that didn't do anything. I need to kill that light back there. But I don't have any assistants, and D'Artagnan has left the bed, so we're left with this. This is a little bedtime story for you beautiful people out there before you go night-night. 333 style. This is the title. The Playful Space Bunny's Easter Tale. In the cosmos, embrace a playful space bunny grinned. He twinkled his nose, and the story began. Easter's upon us, a time of rebirth, celebrating life and joy on earth. Playboy bunnies dance in fields of bright flowers. They spread laughter and love for hours and hours. And just like Christ rose on that glorious day, the spirit of Easter brings light our way. So cuddle up tight and let your dreams take flight. With bunnies and magic, let hearts feel just right. For Easter's a celebration, both playful and sweet, of life, love, and joy. Now, isn't that neat? I think it is. He thinks it is. He's out. He's stoned. He's already out. So I'm going to go night-night now. And for all you beautiful people, go to sleep. Sweet dreams. 333 style. I want you to have sweet dreams. Do beautiful things. Do good. Be good. Karma's real. It's very real. This is falling off. This isn't comfortable at all. I'm taking that off so I can go to sleep. Go to sleep. And sing a lullaby. Don't look at that. Go to sleep, little boy and girl, and go to sleep, little baby. Close your eyes and go to sleep. I hope you have sweet dreams. I'm going to turn over this side. Shut your eyes, go night-night. Don't look at my butt. Pinky, it's time for us to go to sleep. Tell all these beautiful people out there to subscribe. Subscribe. Tell them to like. You want them to leave a comment? Leave the bitch a comment, yo! Sorry, he cusses sometimes. It costs nothing. But if you do want to subscribe and also contribute, There's a link below. Baby's CriB variety show. It's a cash app. So no one will know. Go to sleep, beautiful people. Sweet dreams. It takes me a while to get comfortable. I think my back just cracked. It's too bright in here. I'm gonna have to turn off some of these lights. I gotta turn off some of these lights. Sweet dreams, beautiful people. See you in the beautiful world of Tomorrowville.